Greetings, Liberlandians. Welcome to another episode of the Liberland Show. I'm your host, Adam Carswell, today joined by Jason Wright. And it's funny, I'm so used to looking at Jason knows us looking at my other camera, which is having technical difficulties right now. I know if you're uh, a studio snob like me, you would notice it, but you probably wouldn't even have noticed if I didn't say that. But oh well, here we are. We're doing the show. We got Jason Wright back on for the second time. We had Jason on. I don't know you'll have to jog my memory, Jason, but within the past couple of years, and it was a great episode. I figured we'd bring you back on. I know you're working on a lot of cool things right now, and you're just someone I know who really I'm looking at the wrong camera, who loves freedom, and things of that nature. You're also big on your cigars, so maybe we'll talk some cigars today. And before I forget as well, for those tuned in right now, if you are a Liberland, if you're not a Liberland e-resident, all you got to do is go to liberland.org/application. If you're already an e-resident and you want to become a Liberland citizen, congratulations, you're pre-qualified. You've already gone through the KYC. All it is a flat fee of 10,000 US dollars. So if you do want to become a Liberland citizen, get your passport like me and all that good stuff. There's some more, perks that come with being a citizen. Shoot me an email, citizenship.adam@liberland.org. Okay, let's get into it. Jason, good to have you back. For those who aren't familiar with you and your background, could you just tell a little bit about your story?
Yeah, thanks for having me back. My story. So, I don't know, 10 years ago, or so. Was it that long? It wasn't that long. 10 years ago, I started this business I'm in, intentionally inspirational. And after that, so at some point after that, I quit corporate America once, didn't work out. I had to go back. So I had to quit a second time. But I've been running for 6, 7 years full time now. So memory's getting bad, bro. Memory's getting bad. Things for you to look forward to. But I love impacting people. I love having some control over my time. I don't like people telling me what to do. Like I don't get in trouble with the law or anything like that, but like HOAs and just like nosy people, we're not doing this. So it's like I'm just a guy that wants to be left alone. I leave other people alone, and I want to be productive in my time. And so I love entrepreneurship. I love business. I love to hunt. I love to fish. I love to hike occasionally. Like Adam said, smoke cigars, drink bourbon. I consider myself a pretty normal guy, but doesn't seem to be as many of us out there anymore as there once was. So
You also you were working remote before it was cool.
I was, and I remember when COVID happened and there was like this like 7 or 8 day period of just quiet, and I was like, okay, obviously there's no new business coming in, but I can't even get in touch with my current clients. It was just really weird. And then people started to kind of like figure things out with Zoom. And so many people are excited to tell me that, hey, I'm working with Zoom. Have you ever used Zoom? I'm like, yeah, I've been using it for like 3, 4 years. Like, this is the whole business we built. So it was kind of neat to see the world make that shift. And in some ways it's never gone back, which is advantageous for all of us. So yeah, I've been doing this for a long time online. Yeah.
We have I think a lot of entrepreneurially minded listeners and people of Liberland. So, for you, I know I've heard this story before, to some degree, but when did the light bulb go off for you that you wanted to do your own thing more than uh just get a good job and work your way up the ladder?
Yeah, so when I was 14, I was into fishing a whole bunch, like really heavy. And I still like it, but then it was like I need the newest gear all the time. And I reached a point where my mom's like, no more gear. I'm like, you haven't seen the new Bass Pro Shop. You haven't seen what's coming out. She's like, I'm not buying you any more stuff. If you want more fishing tackle, go get a job, figure it out. Okay. So I got 3 yards in our cul-de-sac to mow, 25 bucks a yard every week, 75 bucks a week with no bills. So I started making money, and I literally bought all the tackle I could possibly want. There's nothing that I wanted that I didn't have. So I'll never forget that. And went through school, got out, started a landscaping company in college, ran that for about 4 years, and got to a point where I either had to add a crew and quit college or shut that down. I was like, I can't do both anymore. And my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and her parents and my parents, everybody said you need to finish the degree and do this thing. Okay. So I went along with it, and about 7 years into corporate, I was like, I don't want to do this shit. Like, not for me, not for me. I work for a guy that's worth about 300 million bucks. That's what they make a year with their 57 companies. he's not real smart and he's kind of an asshole. So here's an idea. Couldn't I pay my bills and be a nice guy and figure this out from home? So that's kind of where it started. And I was like, he can do it. I can at least do that. And it was kind of challenging. I didn't have an idea per se, but that was the motivator. It's like I don't want to commute anymore. I don't want to wake up early, and I don't want to attend meetings about more meetings. Like the corp, I'm done with that crap. I would rather be poor and do it my way than make good money in that corporate grind that I was in. So that was kind of the essence of it, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah. What do you we talked about this before we hit record too, but obviously the world is in a little bit of a odd space right now. It feels recessionary. Does anyone know whether or not it is or isn't a recession? I think we all assume it is, but who knows? Uh, what are you finding to be helpful? One, to stay positive and stop, look at if you are going to look at the news, look at it in a positive light, and then also just for you, I'm curious, like, what are you finding to be some of the best practical revenue generating activities that you're doing to make sure cash flow stays up in a time where it might not have been as easy in the past?
Yeah, it's a great question. My advice is don't watch the news. Like I haven't tuned into mainstream news in probably legitimately 10 years plus. I don't watch it. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch any of that shit. If something major happens, I'm gonna hear about it on social media. You're gonna see, oh, something happened in New York. What is it? I like X. It's brutal, but it seems to be pretty raw and real. There's Rumble, there's other good stuff out there, but mainstream news, no. It's just not. Most of it boils down to negativity. We don't need any of that, any more of that stuff in our face. Um, the best advice that I would give me from a year ago, which is going to be applicable for everybody watching and listening now as well, is diversify your income streams. So my main business is focused on marketing. It was focused on one niche and one offer for a long time. That was great. That also worked to become almost my detriment because markets change and there's no guarantee they ever go back to the way they were. And I didn't see that the way I see it now. So now our business focuses on more niches with clients. We've widened our offerings. We also have a sales revenue stream in our company through accredited capitalists, which is unrelated to marketing at all, which is smart. So diversifying for that reason, just like you would diversify an investment portfolio. Do you want to put all of your investment in silver? Maybe. I don't. Do you want to put everything into stocks or everything into real estate? Maybe I don't. I want diversification because the different pieces are going to take hits. And if you only have one piece and it's down, I mean, you're not going to like the way that works. How to stay in a positive headspace. I mean, really, the only thing I know how to do when things aren't going well is find a solution because nothing else is going to help you, right? If you need money today and you're not focused on finding money today, how is anything else going to help you, right? So it's like stay focused on, and here's the thing to remember, people with money still have money, right? People now, are there people that acted like they had money 2 years ago that don't? Yeah, because they were using borrowed money that wasn't theirs, and now they're in a different spot. But people who actually have money still have money. So, are there clients out there? Yes. Are they potentially in different industries than they were 2 years ago? Yes. Does your offer need to change? Maybe. See what the market wants. So, you've got to be flexible and you can't be so married to your own ideas that they lead to your detriment. What worked for me great 2 years ago works now, but not on a scalable way. So it's just a little piece. So um,
I guess to get a little more detailed, and so our audience can get familiar with what you do. I mean, who knows? There could be someone listening right now who wants to work with you. What are some specific tools or projects that you're working on right now that are new to you, but you kind of feel like, oh, this actually could be the way it's headed?
yeah. Well, I mean, if we kind of break it down on the marketing side, it's a couple areas. So brand awareness, a lot of people want to keep content out there so people know they exist with no expectation beyond that. So using AI to help with that in a very human sounding way. That's one thing we're doing. Traffic, so paid Facebook ads, and then basically a whole webinar funnel. So I have a webinar, ironically, tomorrow about building better webinars, and it's the whole process of getting the right people in the room, keeping them there, engaging the whole time, the offer afterwards, the whole follow-up sequence. Like you can really have a whole business out of that funnel, or it can be supplemental. But using that because no matter what you do for clients, if you can't drive qualified leads into the funnel and keep them coming on the calendar, they're never going to see the full value of it. So, focusing on getting myself and getting clients an actual ROI as quickly as we can on what they invested and then some is kind of what we're doing, and it makes a lot of sense and it seems obvious, but people are responding well to it. On the back end stuff, the high level, the active campaigns, the HubSpots, whatever, but without that targeted lead entry, it's just not going to have the effectiveness of people who don't have an audience or don't have a reach already. So just kind of working through some of that stuff. Yeah, so I hope that answers it. But
Yeah.
anything digital marketing related, but we're really focused on like brand awareness or traffic or what happens after they join your funnel. It's kind of the easiest way to describe it.
And are you still doing CRM setup as
Yeah.
well?
Yep. It's easier to sell the lead generation first and then CRM after it. I think you should do it the other way around, but it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the market wants. So it's easier to sell ads first and build on, but you do need both. You do need qualified leads. You do need a robust automation and CRM plan as well. But yeah, going in the opposite order seems to be easier.
Okay. So that's interesting to me because what I'm hearing is probably um the one thing a lot of the marketplace is asking for right now in particular is not only, well, I guess this is everyone's dream, but it sounds like ads are really attractive right now, maybe more than LinkedIn. I know has been a great place for business leads, and I'm sure you probably still think it is a good place, and you have a lot of clients there. But are you seeing ads be the overwhelming favorite for the way people want to go at their business right now?
I just talked to an attorney yesterday in Houston. Young Buck started his own firm 2 years ago, and he said Google ads are the only reason we even have clients. He said nothing else is working. He said we're not doing it. We haven't been doing it long enough to really get referrals yet. I don't know what he should expect for his business, but he said if it weren't for our PPC ads, we wouldn't have any business. I was
Wow.
like, nothing else is working for you at all. He's like, I really haven't done much else because we're just putting everything into it. But I think paid ads should be a piece of your strategy. I don't think it needs to be the whole strategy, but Facebook slash Instagram, WhatsApp, all that, that umbrella is still king just because of the way their algorithm works. LinkedIn, I actually got a new client LinkedIn organically the other day, which is interesting. It's been a while, but it's high ticket, closed it pretty quick. But it needs to be a piece of it. If you want to keep getting your brand out in front of new people, the best way to get, even though that's cold, but the best way to get the right targeted leads in your world is paid ads. Now, LinkedIn ads don't seem to work as well in my experience. Conversations as I've had with compared to Facebook, but YouTube ads can work well, but I think Facebook's still king. And I know how to use Facebook ads as well as any of the ad platforms for me personally. So
Okay. And you mentioned just now Google ads as well. Are you familiar
I've
using
done them.
Google?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
done them for myself. I've done for clients in the past, like, YouTube or pay per click, but I like doing YouTube ads. I don't like doing the search stuff because none of my business is search. I mean, I guess it could be, but I like the making the offers and doing the interruption marketing on Facebook and that type of thing. So
Okay. So there you guys go. If you're looking to diversify your outreach through paid ads, definitely Facebook, maybe a little bit of YouTube, maybe a little Google in there. Is there any I'm forgetting that you've done before?
Um, other ways of getting people, I mean, don't forget just guesting on podcasts is such a good way to get in front of relevant audiences. I can't tell you the amount of business that guesting on podcasts has brought me over the years. So, um, just making sure you or your brand are in front of audiences that are relevant, I think is the big takeaway here.
Yeah. What um what would you say would be, for anyone who likes what they've heard, they want to follow you, maybe even, set up a call with you, what's the best way they can go about doing that?
You can check out my freshly redesigned website, intentionallyinspirational.com. I was jacking around with it Friday night and actually deleted the homepage. And I was like, oh, crap. I was like, I've needed to do this, but I just rebuilt the whole site and I just, really optimized it for mobile and tablet and everything. And there's nothing that doesn't need to be there and everything you need. There's like how we do things or what makes us different, like right underneath the header. And if that doesn't sound like Jason Wright, nothing does, but it's going to attract the right people and scare everybody else away. And that's the point. So, Yeah, check it out if you want to. If you don't have a call, the worst case scenario is I'll get you pointed in the right direction, give you some great free advice. But what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for everything today, your wisdom. I'm gonna ask now for one more golden nugget or piece of wisdom. What do you feel like is not something that you've always lived by, but now I'm gonna guess you're, somewhere between 30 and 45. And if that makes you feel young by me saying, yeah,
40, 43.
43.
Yeah.
43. So what's a piece of wisdom that 43-year-old Jason is saying to himself daily that even 42-year-old Jason wasn't saying?
I think it's maybe saying the same thing, but just louder and more directly. But it's about what we talked about a little bit earlier, perseverance, grit, truly living the no off switch lifestyle. So, do things get hard in life and in business? Oh, yeah, they get really hard. And when it's bad and you're not getting what you want, you have really two options. Keep moving forward and tell yourself at some point you may see the fruits of your labor, or give up and know that nothing's going to happen. So, if you break it down with yourself that simply, hopefully that motivates you to keep moving forward, even if you don't see results for 6 months or a year. What's the alternative? So that is a conversation I've had with myself much more loudly and more directly because I've had no choice, and it's starting to produce fruit. Thank God.
Good to hear. Congratulations, and thank you for your second official appearance on the Liberland Show. If you guys type his name in, I'm sure you go find the original. It's great having you on here, Jason, and I guess technically a part of the Liberland community. I know you're good friends with Cam, who's been on the show like 8 times, so we'll have to have you catch up to to Cam. But yeah, thank you again for your time.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right, everyone, this has been another episode of the Liberland Show. We will catch you in the next episode. I got to make sure I look at the right camera there. As a reminder, if you are already a Liberland citizen, feel free to shoot me an email, citizenship.adam@liberland.org, and we'll get you start getting you squared away for your Liberland citizenship and passport. Sound good? All right. Take care.